Hey guys, it's Golden Buddha here. Tonight, I wanted to check out this really cool supplement. Now, before we check out this supplement, I want to ask, have any of you guys ever just been walking around the neighborhood, and you find something interesting, like whether it be an interesting rock, or a forgotten shoe, or a wrench, long rusted, and you pick it up and you wonder, how did this get here? Where did this come from? What we're looking at today is a way to help you figure that out for games. It's called To Care is to Cairn. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Cairn's one of those really weird words to me. Cairn. Anyways, this is by Kai Medina, and well, we're just gonna get right into it. Our town is changing. We are left with artifacts that hold us to the past. They seem to betray history by breaking, altering, and growing beyond a generation. This is not a betrayal. We do not expect the past to hold such power over the present, and we forget that the present accounts for history just the same. Hey, that indeed is real shit. Rubbish will always forge itself into a monument, and we will always be a part of that. So this is a world-building tabletop role-playing game that carries players through a civilization of their making from a bird's eye view of once everyday objects. Artifacts will become a tapestry to a community's developing history, using real-world archaeological influence. So, it can be played as a one-off session or as a tool to add complexity to approaching established campaigns. So, we are going to be using it as the second one. I think that's where this thing is going to get the most use. Although this game might be fun just for a night with the homies. You know, where you guys are just your group and you guys are taking a break from your regular game, and it's just like, hey, maybe we should, that one artifact you guys found, maybe we should figure out where that came from. Or, let's just make an entirely new world. Make something really, really cool, really unique. So let's see what we need to play. The game. So the setup is here, or on pages 4 and 12. The round. So it's a round, and then we go to Sleeping Gods, and then we go to the turn. Oh, so we're gonna need cards for this. It says draw a card from the deck. The card will cause an event in the world, describe it, and involve one or more artifacts. Interesting. So yeah, this is like the overview of what everything means, it looks like. So, we're probably going to come back to this page quite a bit. One deck of playing cards shuffled. One large blank paper. 10 index cards per player. Well, I do have index cards, with surplus available if possible. One pencil per player. One note-taking device per player. 1 to 5 players. More possible, but not recommended. Okay. 2 to 4 hours time. Less if cards from the deck are removed. More if cards are occasionally reshuffled. And of course, wouldn't be a TTRPG without snacks. Several snacks brought by the players who are not hosting. It specifically says who are not hosting, okay? So for those of you who are being stingy with the snacks, alright, you need to chill out with that. Alright, bring Cheetos, pizza, actually bring some healthy shit. Bring the veggie straws, those are pretty good. Anyways, let me go get this stuff. So, I'm back. Let's see, I got my index cards. I got a bunch of these. I'm going to be using the back of an index card to draw stuff, and then I'm going to show you guys the end result, or maybe I'll show you pictures as we go along. One of the two. I don't know. I'm still figuring this out. So I got my pen and pencil. Bow, bow, boom. And I'm using a virtual deck online. So you're not going to see me drawing cards, but that's okay. Just, I'm drawing cards. It's virtual. Everything's virtual now. It's the future, okay? Let's continue. Playing cards will be drawn referencing the oracle pages of this guide to determine the events that will occur within your civilization. Paper will be penciled on by all players to mark the locations of objects and to reflect relevant in-game events. Drawing may be literal or symbolic. Okay. And the index cards will reflect objects, artifacts within the game. Now, let's figure out what kind of universe we got here. Magic! The stories braided by this game allow for both magic and non-magic interpretations. If you choose to have magic, visit page 24 for bonus event tables. Well, we're definitely having magic in this world. I mean, what's a fantasy object without magic? Yeah, it's definitely gonna have magic. Okay, stories. If you have an existing game and want to add lore to previously encountered objects, or have an upcoming campaign you want to world build artifacts for, you've somehow found just the right niche. Simply set expectations with your players ahead of time on how this game will connect to your world. Timeline, length of turns, magic systems, tone, etc. And that's a good idea just in general to do that with your group. Give as much creative freedom as possible when ensuring it's compatible with your sessions. Having players create content can really help connect them to your world, and that's a big thing too. This system was made for a 2 to 4 hour game, but for longer sessions it may be combined with other world building systems such as The Last Step or The Quiet Year. We'll have to look into those later. Now, the gods. That's going to be me. I'm the god of this world. The world is out there and may one day come to bombard our concrete and canyons down. However, at least for now, the world is here. The world is our town. To start the game, the host, that's me guys, will place a blank piece of paper in front of all players. After defining the scale, usually about the size of a city, there will be a total of 2 minutes for everyone to draw the natural environment in which civilizations may rise and fall, i.e. mountains, beaver dams, caves, and so forth. Ensure it is light and simple enough to be drawn for the length of the game. Gameplay will expand upon these choices. So I'm going to take my blank sheet of paper and I'm going to draw. So yeah, this place is going to be the scale of, city scale, whatever that means. 2 minutes. So let's draw the natural environment. Okay, so let's think. And I'm actually going to put this on screen for you guys, the finished result, and you guys can see my handiwork, and feel free to give me some pointers and tips on my drawing because I know I need them. So let's do like Bob Ross. Let's put some happy little clouds. Actually, no. Let's put a happy little mountain right here. Snow caps. Happy little mountain. And you just let those curves go down and around and wherever they choose to go, because mountains can be anywhere. A mountain range, I think. Yeah, let's make these mountains crazy. Okay, that's a cool little forest. Yeah. Alright, has 2 minutes elapsed yet? I think I only have a little bit of time. 2 minutes is not a lot of time to draw shit. I only have like 1 minute left. Let's put a big ass lake. River flowing down into said lake. Okay. And then we're gonna put some hills surrounding said lake. Only got a little bit of time left. I think I'm done now. I think, the hills are surrounding a lake. Okay, cool. Boom. What's on the next page? Now, our town, okay? We ascribe meaning to objects so that their symbols may ascribe the same to us. It is now time to found our civilization. Decide the general technological time period in which your civilization will settle these lands. It is recommended to begin with Bronze Age, but any time period is suitable depending on the story that you wish to tell. And luckily, I am a big fan of Bronze Age. So, that's the age we're going with. Spend 2 minutes as a group drawing the foundations of your civilization into being. Ensure it is light and simple enough to be drawn over during the duration of this game. Try to utilize only 1/4 of the map space. Consider aspects like water, food, shelter, and entertainment. Gameplay will expand upon these choices, and the story will focus more on the changing object's reflection of society and not of society itself. Remember, 2 minutes is not intended to be a ton of time for decision making. The centralized focus of this game is on artifacts and not specifically city building. Okay. I like it. Alright. And again, I'm going to be drawing this. The 2 minutes are going to pass. The 2 minutes are going to pass, and then we're going to cut back, and boom. You know what I'm saying? And again, please, feel free to give me some pointers on this, because these houses are going to be very rough. Okay, these houses, this town, this whatever, this camp, it's going to be rough looking, but that's okay, because we're just having a good time here. Trying something new, getting out of our comfort zone. You know, it's important. It's important for growth. It's important for progress in personal aspects and civilization aspects too. So, what am I talking about? I don't know, but I'll be right back. Okay, so we finished this part. I got my little city or settlement next to the river, and I've kind of thought that these guys are they're fishers, right? They fish next to the river. They hunt the birds and other creatures that come out of the nearby forest. And all in all, they're rather peaceful. So, now we head for the artifacts. We visit the prehistory on page 19 and have each player pick and describe one event from the list to help add worldly foundations. Add to the map when relevant. Alright, so we're heading to page 19. Okay, the Oracle. Ooh. Oh, so these are cool questions. Okay, let me zoom in a bit so you guys can see. All right, so what is the civilization's origin mythos? What brought them into being? What is a common food source, and what tools are required for the job? What stands in the center of town, and what does it represent? A lot of these are good questions. Ooh, what was the last thing to be stolen? Where do people get lost? All of these are... Oh, what was the latest source of entertainment? So we pick things that might build out this civilization and let us know what's going on with it. So it says each person picks one, right? Let me read this again just to make sure I'm doing this right. Page 19. Each player pick and describe one event. Okay, cool. I guess since I'm the only one doing this right now, I could either pick multiple questions or just pick a very important question that helps. Well, I mean, all of these helps define the civilization, but... Okay, so we're going to answer what stands at the center of town and what does it represent. So in the center of town... sits a tomb, right? So a tomb to the founder of their civilization. So they carry the ashes. So like the tomb contains an urn, right? And so they carry the ashes of the founder of their civilization. And when they finally settled down here in this land, they built a tomb around these ashes to protect them. Tomb of the Founder is what we're going to call it. Okay. So, now that we've answered that, we can move on, I think. Let's go back to page 8 and see what else we need to do. So, subjects of change. A revolving door map. Ooh. The map is a tool to help visualize your gameplay, displaying the storyline for all players to add and interpret with each turn. As mentioned, drawings on it may be literal or symbolic. Every event in the game should be represented somehow, some way on the map. Okay. The difficulty comes when each turn has a magnifying glass that may focus on one part of the map at a time. Okay. Say, for instance, an artifact gets temporarily used as a lightning rod in the old Sire's mansion to the east. During the following turns, we look to the west to see what all the fuss is about. Some silly war. By the time we look back at the lightning rod, oh no, 100 years have passed. While possible, it is unlikely everything there has been untouched since your last visit. Okay, so basically filling out the stuff that happened in between that. Alright, hand each player 3 blank index cards. Alright, I got my 3 blank index cards right here. Alright, and we're going to make these are going to be our artifacts, it looks like. So at any time during the game, the player may choose to sketch an object on the blank side of a card. Oh, the blank side, okay. Or modify an existing one. This object can be anything within your world, from a petrified orange to the toppled over statue of the local VHS repairman. Or maybe it's just the repairman himself. Yeah, it could be his bones. That's entirely possible. Gross. Not really. Any information regarding the object can be written on the other side of the card. Oh, okay. Artifact actions. So I think I might need to go back up to the top page for this, okay? So let's see. The setup. Okay, so I'm still going through the setup here. So we have artifact actions. Gain an artifact by simply drawing an object. Lose an artifact, so that means you just get rid of an artifact off the map. Find an artifact by shuffling the hidden pile and drawing one at random. Okay. Artifacts drawn from the hidden pile become owned by the player who retrieved them. Oh. While this can be done during any turn as part of an event, this action can only be used once per player per an entire game. Okay, interesting. Break an artifact whenever. Okay, so you can just mark off one. Okay, cool. Destroy an artifact by removing it from the game. Maybe it was dissolved into smoke or thrown into a volcano. Whatever the case, you must rip apart the index card that held it. Ooh, I like this. Ripping apart it, making it visceral. Just, interfering by modifying another player's artifact. Okay, and we're not going to be doing much of that because I'm the only player. Setup checklist. Alright, prepare the materials. Check. Draw the initial landscape and civilization on the map. Check. Complete one artifact card per player based on the prehistory. I actually didn't do that. We're going to have to go back. Let's see. Okay, let's go back to page 10 and see. Okay, so it needs to be based on the prehistory. Okay. So we know, based on the prehistory, there's a tomb of the founder of this civilization with the ashes. Okay, so yeah, that's what we're gonna do. The urn of ashes, urn of the founder. And again, you guys aren't gonna see me drawing this, but yeah, we're going to. These drawings are gonna, again, they're gonna be rough. I can't say that enough. No, that's just me putting all my own insecurities onto this. Let me draw this, and I'll be right back. Okay, the Urn of the Founder has been completed. This is, let's see, it's made of clay, of fired clay, and it smells old. And contains remains. Okay, simple enough, right? Alright, let's continue. So, now that we have everything checked off, now we can keep going. Starting a round. The farmer must rest if they are to tend to their animals, and must hope that the animals can fend well through the night. Some nights are steady, and all has kept quiet, unchanged. Other nights, the farmer returns to a society of monsters. As artifacts need time to develop, it is up to players to decide how much time passes between important events that affect them. Okay, so a round represents a set of turns, with each player taking their turn one by one. Okay, so at the beginning of a round, and this is where I'm gonna start writing this down. Let's say round one, fight. No, I'm kidding. Round one. At the beginning of a round, each player must write down how much time they rest for after the previous round is finished, before returning to the world to take their turn. Between 1 and 50 years. Then one by one, players will reveal their decision after they keep their decisions hidden. Okay. A round should generally take no longer than 10 to 12 minutes to keep the game flowing. Pacing is very important for any game. Historic event. Ooh, starting a turn. Let's see. Every moment is historic. If someone shows up late to the wrong bar or on time to the right play, nothing will ever be the same again. Certain cruxes of the age will align. Manufacturing a breadcrumb trail containing capturing and manipulating objects of interest. At the start of your turn, draw a playing card from the deck. Alright, and then we consult the Oracle on page 20 to 23. And each represents different event scales, from person-to-person interactions or all-out catastrophe and war. This is going to be fun. Let's see. Some cards will have 2 options for a prompt. Others will only have 1. Of course, add change drawings on the map to reflect your answers. Okay, cool. However, as a reminder, a turn should generally last around 3 minutes to limit the waiting time for other players. Let's go ahead and draw this card, okay? So I'm going to draw a card, and it's the 2 of Hearts. Alright, so I guess I'm going to draw, write down, draw 2 of Hearts. Cool. So now let me go to page 29 and see what event, or not page 29, but let me go to page 20 and let's see what happens. Let's see what these mean, okay? So this is spades, nope. Hearts, medium scale change. Let's zoom in real quick. Let's see what's going on, okay? Oh, this is a good one. A boat has washed up on shore with foreign goods. How are they broken? How are they now used? Ooh. Okay. I'm with it. Let's say, okay, so these guys live next to the river, right? This unnamed civilization currently live next to the river. And they made their home. They put the tomb of their founder in the middle of the city, or in the middle of this town currently. Now, let's say along this side of the river, an artifact washes up. Let's go. So within this boat is, okay, so it has foreign goods, okay? So the boat washes up on the river, okay? And, Oh, you know what? The boat is burned. It's freshly burned. So the boat has been freshly burned, has been lit on fire, and the boat contained... What did the boat contain? Ah, damn it. This is going to be a hard one. What did the boat contain? Oh, you know what? I know exactly what the boat contained. The boat contained swords. Bronze swords, no less. They were then confiscated by the leader of the community, and they were used as a template to start metalworking in this town. Because before, maybe this town only had like spears, but now they know how to use or how to make. They kind of reverse engineers on how to make swords. Okay, that's a good event. I like it. That's a really cool event, and we're gonna draw this on the map. We're gonna draw... Actually, do we need to draw it? I don't know if we need to draw it. Nah, I don't think so. Now we go back to, what, page 14, I do believe? Let's see. Alright, I think we were pretty good with that. I think we were good on time. That didn't take up 3 minutes, did it? Probably didn't. Now, napping. This monumental historic event has hopefully not destroyed your artifact, but instead has made it, forged it. Today, destruction and reformation are your paintbrushes. During your turn, determine how the recent event has impacted one or more of your artifacts. For instance, maybe a past turn has buried it, and the events has since resurfaced the object into the hands of a musician looking for parts. What would they do with it? Has a mole taken it into its burrow, where claw marks intrude on the artifact from a fox attempting to make itself a meal? Let's see. So let's see. We could say like, so an artifact could be, let's see, bronze, yeah, bronze sword. But I don't really think this would affect the urn of the founder all that much. But you know what? Let's, No, let's think about this for a second. Maybe, alright? Just hear me out. Maybe they... Oh, you know what? Maybe they melted... Oh, you know what? Perfect. They melted down some of the bronze to basically give the founder a better urn and like a better tomb. So they used some of it to put like decorations on the urn itself. Round one. Okay. Round one. Alright. So, cool. We got the event. We got all that stuff. Okay, so that's the first event. Okay. And let's see, what's the next part? Extra action. Before, during, or after napping on their turn, a player may optionally choose to take one of the following actions. Cement in history. As long as oral narratives and written accounts exist, this event will be forever remembered in history. Record it somewhere with a symbol reminding you of its permanence. You may optionally decide to exaggerate the event and distort what actually occurred. That happens in history all the time. I mean, shit. Real talk, it doesn't even take that long for that shit to happen. You may optionally decide to exaggerate the event. If you do this, an artifact must somehow contradict the exaggeration. Interesting. This attribute may be visible or hidden. Or we can change meaning. Weapons of tragic war can be melted into a grand statue, reinventing the power they give to people. The symbolic meaning behind one or more of your artifacts have been transformed. The most recent event has forever changed how we'll see its history, and how it may be used going forward. Okay. And add a cat. This is cute. Cats are ridiculous creatures of great power. They are fleeting agents of change. This action is used to alter the previous turn's events, where a cat was now present to observe and challenge the fates. So, basically, it just lets you add a cat to fuck with things, it looks like. So it's like, oh, the cat picked up the keys and took it to the ship. Yeah, okay, it makes sense. Well, we're not going to choose any of these, actually. Not for this first turn, so. Stratigraphy? Stratigraphy. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Civilization falls. All who tell the stories of this town have been scattered across other borders. The town itself, our small world, no longer exists in the same form. It is now its own artifact, buried deep beneath the earth, overtaken by time. Okay. Let's see. So, let's see. All the cards have been drawn and history is run into living memory. The rounds and turns have all been completed and the game is almost over. Now we see which artifacts made it out of the kiln, scratched, bruised, and brimming with future plot lines to follow in other tales. When the players are ready to wrap up the game, assemble all the non-destroyed artifacts from players' hands and the hidden piles. Additionally, gather all notes from turns cemented in history. Forget all the history you've developed aside from what is here in front of you. Retell and reflect on events that are echoed by your artifacts and the common knowledge of these lands. Where might these objects be found? What does their distance and depth and the archaeological site of the town tell us? If they were not here, where might they have gone? How might they have been used? Okay. And thank you for remembering. To care is to Cairn. And then there's some pictures of Cairns here. As you can see, there's a bunch of piles of rocks. Let's see, the Oracle. Alright, so I think we basically have all the rules, and now we just need to keep doing the, I need to go back up and follow the turns. So let's say 50 years passes between each turn. So this is my turn, so 50 years passed. Boom. And this is after the event. So after the boat with the bronze swords washes up, the boat that was charred and lit on fire washes up. The bronze swords are confiscated and they're melted down and used to decorate the urn of the founder, as well as reverse engineer and basically give them the template for making swords. Okay? So now we're gonna do another round. Okay? So I don't think we have enough artifacts here. We have the bronze sword, right? And we have the urn of the founder. But we're gonna, let's see, I'm gonna shade this in. Okay, cool. So we got the bronze sword. Now let's see what we're gonna draw for this next turn. Ooh, that is an Ace of Hearts. So, for historic events. Oh wait, no, my bad. I did the wrong thing. I gotta go back, so. Alright, so hearts. So for this one, we have large amounts of construction has changed the environment. Who was displaced? Okay, so for this, we're actually gonna need to draw on our map a bit. So So this is going to be round 1, turn 2. With the new bronze tools that they currently had, due to the abundance in bronze from the boat, they use these tools to cut down the nearby forest and establish more buildings over there. Logging areas, like logging stuff, because they've never seen a boat like this, maybe. And maybe they want to emulate this. So they've established this little wood place. They're using the tools, and so because of this construction, they've displaced a lot of the local wildlife in the forest, and they have to find other places to live. Let's say a lot of the bird homes. So we're going to... Oh, you know what? We're going to sketch another object, actually. And so then we're going to have 3 objects. So we're going to have... So we already have the bronze sword. And we have the Urn of the Founder. So this is going to be something else. Now, let's say... Actually, let's say it's something simple. Let's say a bronze axe, right? Bronze axe. Owned by a logger named Giru. Okay, and of course, you know, it has all the properties of a bronze, like, you know, that you would assume that a bronze axe has. Also, I don't know how good a bronze axe would be for chopping. Like, I truly don't know. But you know, let's just assume in this world it gets the job done. So now, okay, so yeah, so I gained an artifact. So boom, and this artifact would be like in the logging area of this, you know, this kind of like separate town, I guess. Oh, you know what? We're gonna cement this in history. Okay. See, it really helps when you have random tables. I'm actually very bad at world building. I use random tables for almost everything, like for real. Also, I know I'm going way over the 3 minutes they said, but hey, whatever. It's just me. Who cares? It's just me. I'm gonna cut all of this crap out so you guys aren't gonna see me humming and hawing. So, you know, don't worry about it. All right, just don't worry about it. So yeah, so this logging town's created, and the animals and some of the birds are driven out by human activity. Okay, we have that much. So how are we going to cement this in history? Oh, you know what? So maybe the exaggeration is that they cut down the whole forest. Like, they completely, like, they went full on, like, we're chopping down trees for no reason, and we're just, you know, we're killing animals, we're stepping on squirrels, we're playing whack-a-mole with gophers with the back of the axe handles, you know, like we're going buck wild, like that. But that's just the exaggeration, though. That's the exaggeration. So the exaggeration is that they deforested the entire forest. Oh, you know what? Actually, fuck that. Because I said we're having magic in this, right? Fuck that. We're going a step deeper, okay? So instead of, you know, they just deforested the place, what if, right? What if we go the Paul Bunyan route, right? Like, oh, there was a giant that cut down all of these trees. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, let's go with there was a giant. Yeah. The entire forest was cut down by a giant. Let's say a gray giant. Just to give them some little extra flavor. A gray giant. So yeah, the entire forest was cut down by a gray giant, driving out the wildlife. So another 50 years passes. Alright. Now it is turn 3. Now let's see what we draw this time. It's kind of fun. Ooh, looks like we got a 6 of spades. Let's see. Oh, cool, and they have timeline pages. Cool. So this is going to be a magical event, okay? Since I wanted magic in this world, this is going to be. Let's make this one magical. So, magic spades. So this is a 6 of spades. All right. So 6 of spades. Some food gets spoiled. What evil does it attract? Ooh. Okay. Why does spoiled food attract an evil? That just sounds weird. But okay. Sure. Since this is like a fishing town, I guess, we're going to go with fish. The obvious one being fish, right? Fish gets spoiled. Okay, so fish gets spoiled in the town, right? This is in the main town. So it attracts. Ooh, it attracts a deep, not a deep one. I mean, a deep one would be interesting. There's so much cool stuff. I could use an existing monster. What's a cool, because aquatic monsters definitely don't get used enough in games. You know what? Let me find a really cool aquatic monster that I could throw in here. Give me like 2 seconds. I'll be right back. I've decided that it attracts troglodytes. Okay? That's a classic D&D monster right there. They're vaguely lizardish, and they stink to high hell. You get a penalty just from being around them if you fail your poison save. Troglodytes start... Because, you know, let's say oh, you know what? Troglodytes that live in the lake. So they live in the lake, and they're led by malevolent god, or maybe like some greater threat. But for now, troglodytes are attracted, and they start raiding the town in small, like, nighttime raids. An artifact is destroyed, maybe. Let's see, because I can break an artifact. The bronze axe is broken. So I could like rip it in half, I guess. Like from like, how should I rip it? Should I rip it this way or this way? I don't know. Actually, no, I don't think I'm supposed to rip the actual card in this case. So let's just say the bronze axe is, we're gonna put in parentheses, broken. Used to fight troglodytes and broken in battle. Okay, so I think that's that turn. So now we're going to the next turn. We're going to pick a smaller time skip in between this one, mostly because now they're dealing with an active threat. We have the sleeping gods. How long? I think it said 1 to 50 years can pass in between turns. So we're gonna do a cool 5 years. 5 years pass. So there's 5 years of this raiding going on. So now let's see what happens. We're gonna draw another card, and we're gonna have this one be magical too. We got a 5 of spades. Let's go. 5 of spades under the magical. So, when searching for a new food source, a plant with magical properties is discovered. What does it do? So this is going to be another addition to the map. So let's say, oh, you know what? Let's say they find this magic plant at the base of the mountains. Let's see. I guess that's a magic plant. You're just pretend it's a magic plant. That little dot next to the mountains, that's a magic plant, okay? Or a magic strain of plant. So, this magic plant, right? This magic plant, what is it? Oh, you know what? What does it do? You know what, let's go... Let's go kind of crazy with this, okay? Maybe it gives you some kind of superpower. Something like telekinesis, maybe something like flight. A plant that lets you fly? Come on now, that's pretty awesome. Like, let's be real. If you could just like munch on some leaves and you could like fly for like 30 minutes, That's fucking great. You like that? That would be crazy. Man. You know what? Let's make it different. Let's actually make it like integral to the plot, okay? Or what plot is kind of formulating in my mind, I guess. So they find a plant that if you chew it, it lets you breathe underwater. So now, not only can they be more efficient, like fishers, they have a way to go and fight back against the troglodytes. Because, you know, troglodytes, like, they kind of live in, like, caverns and you know, they kind of can make their home in, like, pools and stuff. So now they can just, like, oh, well, you can't hide in your pool anymore because now we have this plant. I don't know what we're going to call it, actually. I'm terrible. Again, I'm terrible at naming things. So now we're gonna change the meaning of the bronze axe, right? So this bronze axe is now going to represent. It's going to represent. In fact, this symbol, this axe, this broken axe, is actually going to be a house symbol representing the conflict between the troglodytes and these people living here. It represents the troglodyte war. All right, cool. So now we're on to the next turn, I think. So this one's going to be a mundane one. So no magic results for this one. And we are going to have another 5 years pass. Okay, so another 5 years, and we're going to go on to turn 5. Okay. Ooh, 7 of hearts. So the community needs a flag. How does the leadership go about getting one produced? What is it? The wood and materials within the forest to produce that. I don't know. What could you use in the woods to like make a flag? Oh, you know what? Better yet, maybe it's like a stitched leather flag. Stitch like animal leather together, because they don't have like cotton and like dye and stuff like that yet. Oh, you know what? Not only with animal leathers, but with fish scales of the different types of fishes. So they use that to make the flag as well. Sounds pretty good. Fish scales on the flag. Actually, that sounds hella jank. But I mean, these guys are working with what they got. Okay, so yeah, stitched together flag with animal leather adorned with fish scales from the most beautiful fish. So maybe silver, actually, you know what? Maybe silver fish scales. The image of the bronze axe gets depicted in this flag as Giru's family, the logger who owned this axe. He became a prominent, like his lineage became prominent as the years went on. As more and more limber, I said limber, as more and more timber was used from the forest to build infrastructure, Giru's family monopolized that. They became rich as a result. All right, next thing. So this next one, 50 more years pass. We're gonna do another passage of time, big passage of time. So 50 years pass. So we've done 2 normal. Actually, we've done 3 normal results and 2 magical. So we're gonna do another magical result. So let's see what we got here. Ooh, Ace of Diamonds. Okay, this is gonna be crazy because I think diamonds are crazy scaled ones. Okay, so let's zoom in a bit. A building goes abandoned and overgrowth takes hold. Why did the plants choose this community? That's a tough one, actually. Ooh, a building goes abandoned, overgrowth takes hold. Why did the plants choose this community? So wait, why did the plants choose it? Yeah, so basically the forest is mad at him, or an entity within the forest. But let's say for this point, maybe we can reveal something later. But let's say the forest is pissed at Giru for starting this logging community and chopping down these trees to a great extent. And at this point, let's see what we can do with the artifacts again. So, artifacts. So we get an artifact action. Let's say the urn of the founder gets lost during this time period. It gets lost for whatever reason. Actually, do we need to explain why it's lost? Someone or something could have moved it out the city, or it might be buried just too deep beneath the surface. Whatever the case, move the artifact to a hidden pile where it is no longer in play. Okay, so that's hidden. Bye-bye. The urn of the founder. You know what? Let's say the urn of the founder was what? Oh, you know what? It got snatched by the troglodytes. Okay, I like the way this is shaping up. I like the story. This is epic shit right here. Okay, so everything's shaping up nicely. Okay, so let's draw another card. Actually, let's alternate. So we did a magic one last time. Actually, yeah, we did a magic one last time. So now we're gonna do a mundane one. All right. So next turn. So we would be on turn 7 at this point. That's a 7 of clubs. Okay, so this is going to be a large-scale change. So, a celebrity visits town. Ooh. Oh, and actually, I meant to say, so 1 year passes. Oh, so what kind of celebrity? Who's going to visit? A celebrity. Like, ooh, a puppeteer. A puppeteer known as Kiros Phalange. Okay, he pops up into town, right? And he's entertaining the kids, he's entertaining the people, but something seems amiss. And the thing that is amiss is that he's actually here investigate this town. So he's here from another city, from another civilization, to see what these guys are up to. So he's here as a spy, essentially. And do I want to modify anything? No, I'm going to destroy this bronze sword. Get out of here. It's done nothing. All right, bronze sword, bye-bye. It's gone. Okay? And we're going to go on to the next turn. I hate that sword. I hate it. It did nothing. It didn't even help fight against the troglodytes. It did nothing. It's fucking useless. Okay? Alright, now we're going to move on to the next time. So, 3 years. Let's say 3 years. Round. So it's going to be turn 7. Alright, so let's see what I draw here. And this one's going to be magic. So this is going to be another a magic one this time. So, okay. So that is 10 of spades. Magic. Alright. So this is 3 years later after this happened. So, the puppeteer known as Kiros Phalange. So, spades, so that's 10. Ooh. Oh, this is a juicy one. A sword gets drawn in the center of town. It has no magical properties. How does its new owner hide that fact? Ooh, so you know what? This is simple. So this is going to be Kiros, right? Kiros actually draws a sword. So he you know what? He draws a sword once he gets found out that let's see. So yeah. So actually, you know, maybe he pissed somebody off or someone pissed him off. Kiros Phalange, he uses ventriloquism to make it seem as though the sword can talk and has feelings. So he makes it seem as though he has a sentient sword. So yeah, so Kiros Phalange draws a sword and uses ventriloquism to make it talk, fooling his opponent into thinking the sword is sentient and magical. Alright, I like that. So, let's say another, so we're going to jump now. So, we're going to say, oh, you know what? Actually, I didn't do the artifact thing. So what happens to an artifact? Oh, you know what? Duh, we're going to draw a sword. So, let's see. This sword is going to be called the Talking Sword. Let's just call it what it is. The Talking Sword, which actually is not a talking sword at all. Okay? So, I got rid of one sword to make another one. This one is slightly cooler. Let's say maybe this one's like better metal, better quality metal. Maybe it's like got a cooler hilt. So Kyros Phalange. So we know this sword is owned by puppeteer, celeb, and spy Kyros Phalange, and it is definitely non-magical. So let's go. So we're gonna jump up 50 years. We're gonna go further. Okay. We're on turn 9 right now, but I think we're gonna stop it at turn 10. So now I have a new artifact, the Talking Sword. Natural changes. Okay. So 9 of Diamonds. An artifact or trapped hinders a creature. How does the creature work to survive? Oh, you know what? An artifact traps or hinders a creature. At any time, yeah, at any time during the game. So, you know what? We're going to make an artifact, alright, since we only have 2 and our max is 3. We are going to make an artifact that is... Diamonds is natural change. Okay. You know what? Let's keep it simple actually. So this is actually a fibrous net. A fibrous net that ends up trapping a troglodyte. And I do not know how to draw nets, so this is probably going to look like a tic-tac-toe grid. But again, we got to work with what we got, you know? So this is a trog-catching net. Actually, maybe it's got like barbs. Like little barbs and thorns on it to damage the thing that gets caught inside it. Oh yeah, this definitely looks terrible. This is bad, guys. But hey, it is what it is. It exists now. It's out there. So how did he work to survive? So you know what? This troglodyte ends up chewing. Actually, you know what? Oh, you know what? No. Here's what happens. They catch him, right? I was going to say, oh, he chews his own leg off. But that doesn't make sense if it caught him, okay? So here's what happens. So in order to save his own skin, once he gets caught, he tells the humans and the people in this village where the troglodyte base is, like where their home is actually. So obviously this trog catching net smells terrible because it caught a troglodyte. Alright, so that's one of its things. It smells terrible. And made of bones? A net made of bones? That sounds freaking stupid. Maybe something different. Maybe I'm thinking too hard. Maybe it's just made of whatever, like nets are made of. It's like ropes, I guess. So this troglodyte betrays his people and begs for his life. And now for the final turn. Oh, you know, going back to this. I know I already wrote it, but like going back to this, he betrays his people and reveals that they have the urn of the founder, that they took the urn of the founder. How much time passes? So 214 years have passed already since the beginning of this, okay? So now how much do I want the final turn, like how much do I want to pass in between the final turn? Let's say 10 years pass. Let's say 10 years. 10 years is a good time. 10 years. 10 years and final round. Now let's draw the last card, and this one is going to be magic. So a magic result. Okay, so that's going to be 8 of diamonds. Ooh, so what do community members build to enhance their connection to nature? They build, and this is like the perfect time to create an artifact, I guess. So like a bronze, like it's adorned with like bronze ornaments, but like it's a garden. So they create a large garden in the at the edge of the forest, where Giru's house used to be, to like basically appease the spirits, or appease the forest, should I say? So the bronze axe is actually like melted down. You know, actually, let's take this broken axe off the. So it's lost, right? The broken axe gets placed in the garden. It's placed in the garden by Giru's descendants. Oh, you know what? Actually, fuck that. So since, you know what? I'm taking it back. I'm taking it back. We're gonna lose this, and maybe it gets lost in the garden. So the broken axe is placed there in the garden by Giru's descendants as an offering of peace. All right, now we go to the final steps. When the game is over, review history and see what artifacts made it through. Thanks for playing. Okay, cool. All of the non-destroyed artifact cards from players' hands in hidden piles. Additionally, gather all the notes from turns cemented in history. Forget all of the history that you have developed aside from what is here in front of you. Retell and reflect on these events that are echoed by your artifacts and the common knowledge of these lands. Where might these objects be found? So, you know what? I'm going to do a quick thing where I place these objects on the map where they would be found. So, let's say that the talking sword would be found, Phalange ran off, and it would be found along the riverbank, perhaps. Let's say he ran off into the mountains, and it would be found like in the mountains somewhere. So I'm going to put S for sword. I'm going to put the net was discarded and can be found in the lake. So I'm going to put N for net. And then as for the, okay, so the sword. Oh, the urn of the founder, maybe that was actually never recovered, and that's part of a thing. So maybe it's still somewhere in the depths of the lake. So I'm going to put U for urn. And then, of course, the bronze axe was placed, and it was placed at the edge of the forest. And that's the final product. Let me know what you guys think of this whole game. I'm going to put the link down to the store page. You can get this on, called again, itch.io. There's a lot of weird TTRPGs on there. And yeah, this is, I think it's pay what you want. I think it might be free, or something along those lines. But this is definitely a cool tool to use to help build your world with some friends. So maybe try it out next time you play D&D or whatever tabletop you play, or if you play Stars Without Numbers. I mean, because you could really apply this to any setting. You guys give me a name for this like fictional civilization I made up, please, because I'm so bad at naming things. So just put some names for the place down in the comments below, and I'll check them out, and we'll pick one. But thanks for sticking with me. Thanks for staying up with me. As always, this is Golden Buddha telling you to stay enlightened and stay safe.